The following is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys?
Yeah, go Cowboys! This is Mick Shots, streaming live on DallasCowboys.com and the official Dallas Cowboys app. Now, here are Bill Jones, Heckma Harrison, Everson Walls, and Mickey Spagnola.
Years, bro.
And it's time for not a Fight Song Friday edition of Mick Shots. Instead, we're looking forward to the Big 12 championship game tomorrow at AT&T. Welcome. Heckma says, come on in.
Let's do it.
We're going to discuss things. Bill Jones, Everson Walls, Heckma Harrison, and the star of our show, Mickey Spagnola, who, along with producer supreme Chris Beam, working on fumes right now, right?
Sleep deprived.
Sleep deprived. What time did the charter land, and what time did you get to bed?
Got to bed at 5 o'clock.
Okay. I don't think producer supreme ever got to bed because he's up here bright and early.
He said he
for
got
the
to
first
bed at
podcast of the day at 8 a.m.
So he slept for an hour.
Okay.
I
So
got
here we
three
go.
and a half before a robocall came in.
Okay.
Turned my ringer off.
Well, the Cowboys sleptwalked through the first portion of last night's game.
Typical.
Came on strong towards the end, but we got a lot to discuss here. And so, Everson, would you like to start us off with your first take on what happened on Thursday night?
When you talk about not having your destiny in your own hands, it's up to someone else to do something right or do something wrong for you, correct? Here, we're looking at not just worrying about different teams across the NFC, but you also have to look at how any particular referee might call a game. I mean, it's in their hands. It's in their hands. A referee could have a terrible day, but just so happens that terrible day he has could make it a terrible day for you. So there are times when everybody's doing their job, and then all it takes is one guy to just blink for one unfortunate second and make a crappy call like what we saw in the game last night. Not just crappy, but crucial. I mean crucial crappy call. And so that's what we've always, when things are always going bad here at the Star, it's usually a referee that seems to just pile it on. That's when it's not. That's why I don't like having to play from a desperate situation, trying to get yourself into the playoffs.
Yeah, I will start with just what you just ended with a desperate situation. It came into the game knowing that you had a team that needed to play desperate to keep their destiny in their hands. And it wasn't a night where we're going to talk about the penalties and all of that, but when you start to shoot yourself in the foot at a point in the game where you're going up against a average to good team and not a team that's going to reciprocate with those penalties. And of course, Detroit had those penalties in the first half, but you can't put yourself behind the eight ball the way that the Cowboys did on those first and long, third and longs with those simple penalties. But at the end of the day, we talked about all of their weaponry that Detroit had. And I think guys like Jahmyr Gibbs showed you why he's as valuable as he is to them. It wasn't just what he did out of the backfield, but also what he did as a wide receiver. We seemingly didn't have any answers for that. And football is a game of adjustments. Those adjustments just didn't come fast enough in this game to stop the onslaught offensively for what Detroit did. I think, look, if you had told me and showed me that the Cowboys were going to score 30 points in this game, I would have thought going into this game that surely we would have held them to 17. Right?
Oh, no.
But I'm talking about with the way that your defense had advanced over the last couple of games and with the addition of Quinnen Williams. But we talked about how our linebackers had to play they had to be on their P's and Q's. And we've had bad linebacker play in the past, but this was probably again, one of those games that you just say, man, linebacker play was abysmal. It wasn't good at all. And it's going up against guys like Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery. You could not afford to have your worst day.
We talked about the speed in which he was going to hit the hole. We talked about all of that last week. Our linebackers were not able to meet him in that hole. Not only that, you saw at times our linemen going up the field, opening up things as well, to where the hole was too big for the linebacker to even cover.
Yeah.
So
too much space.
We went back to those things to where we weren't organized. We didn't play together. We didn't fill those gaps in a uniform way, and that's why all those avenues were there.
Okay, Mickey, it's your turn.
All right.
He just sighed.
You had a quarterback throw for 376 yards. You had an offense gain 417 yards.
Yep.
And with 3:35 left, you're only down 37-30.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And you get beat 44-30. The defense obviously was not the defense we'd been seeing. They struggled. The offense had some self-inflicted wounds. Special teams was horrendous in coverage and even as bad in trying to block for kickoff returns. Something's got to change there with both of those units. Mm-hmm. If you got to start putting starters out there, put them out there because this ain't getting it. Their starting possessions were absolutely ridiculous. They averaged the 41-yard line. The Cowboys averaged 28. That's 13 yards difference, right? And consistently. So you think you're catching up. They got it to 30-27. And then you give up a 45-yard kickoff return. They're scoring drives, 44 yards, 42 yards, 53 yards, 45 yards, 14 yards, 40 yards, 59, and 51. They're just playing half the field because mostly, now you had the turnovers, I get it, but mostly it was kickoff returns. And every time you caught up, and here was the hard part about this one. If you think about their history during this entire season, they've always had to come from behind to win. They dig a hole. They dig a hole 3-5-1, right? Dig a hole 21-0. You look at the Packers game when they tied. They were down 13-0, 2016, 27-23, 34-30, right? So in this one, they get down again. And then they teased us because it's like, all right, this is right where they need to be. Yep. And they're going to come back.
Yep.
And they get back. And then they're down 30-27. Then they're down 37-30. And you're going, okay, one stop. You're going to score because they can't stop you unless you stop yourself. And this time, as I wanted to kind of quote Marvin Gaye, the mountain was too high. And they couldn't get back in the game.
He said, ain't no mountain.
Ain't no mountain.
Too high.
You kind of
this mountain was too high.
Yeah. Marvin didn't intend it like that.
Right, he moved it the opposite.
Let them handle the Marvin Gaye references.
I had it right. They just misinterpreted what I was saying.
We had to get on that one.
It ain't supposed to
for
be.
the brothers.
It ain't supposed to be too high to prevent.
It's all good, man.
Right?
We with you. We with
We
you.
got you. Yeah, we got you.
And so, yeah, I think that had to be the frustrating part of that whole night. Hey, Detroit's good, right? They got a lot of speed. But again, you were right there. And what did I tell you about field goals? You want to repeat it? More you kick, the closer you are to losing. 5 field goals. Now, some you got to kick, right? 63 yards. Okay, great. That's a bonus, right?
57-yarder, too.
57.
He turns around and kicks a 57-yard field goal, and then he has to make the tackle on the ensuing kickoff.
Yes.
Let's not get him hurt. Please, let's not get him hurt.
And having said that, on special teams with the kickoff returns, the running backs made 2 tackles on kickoff returns. Malik Davis.
Yeah.
Where's everybody else? What are they doing? That was awful.
Yeah,
that was just awful. And I thought that was the most disappointing part. And then, as you pointed out, you get yourself in these situations, and some guy wants to invent an offensive pass interference on you. Well, okay, that's
the way it goes.
Those things gonna happen.
That's how it goes.
The guy invented a call, right?
That was crazy.
Sean Hockley is his name,
Dude.
and we should basically call him out.
That's
He was a
little
referee.
baby. That's the son. That's the son.
Sean Hockley. That was as egregious. But at the same time, it's like you see a referee make a call like that, and then they come and huddle up.
Yeah.
And you
Somebody tells him, pick up the damn flag.
like you think something's going to happen where somebody smart is going to say, you know what?
The smart person.
The smart person is going to say, I think we shouldn't make this call because it's going to be the first ever call of its kind if we make it right here.
Crazy.
The guy's holding Ferguson's leg.
How do you go from
Right.
that to offensive pass interference?
And then you
How do
swipe
you
it
go
away.
to that? How do you?
Haven't you heard of a
I'm
swim move
I'm sitting in there
No.
like I'm just dumbfounded. How did this is a joke? There's no way. I mean, he said offensive pass interference. He didn't even. I'm like, just maybe you pick up the flag. Offensive pass interference. How are we here? That just blew my mind, man. It blew my mind.
I think I said in the press box, you got to be kidding me a little too loud. Because
Man.
it was like,
What are we talking about here?
I thought they were going to call PI, ball
Easy
at the
call.
pass interference, the
Here we
ball's at
go.
the 3-yard
Here
line.
we go.
Right?
Here we go.
But you let yourself
That's
into
right.
situations like that, into situations like the pick
Holding calls.
the pick play where
Pick
the
play.
DB jumped in the way of his own
Absolutely.
guy.
Yeah,
Right?
he did.
He jumped in his
Yeah, he
way.
did.
What are they looking at?
Yeah. And most DBs in that situation where they know that rub route's coming, they're going to try and step in front of that anyway,
Right.
or try and step over the top of it, But he was patient enough in recognizing that it was coming, and he baited him. And
He took a charge.
he did.
Yeah.
Like basketball, he
That's
took a
exactly
charge.
what he did.
That's good, Bill.
And it's similar to the NBA arguing fouls in the NBA, and they say let's go review it. It's never really overturned ever. But in this situation,
Referees have been sucking all week.
well, they can't fine you, Everson, for saying that. But
And Dak caught himself. He goes, "Can I say that without getting
What did he
fined?"
say?
Because he said that was bad. That was,
It was
really
horrible.
bad.
It was horrible. But I think when you're having the kind of night that the Cowboys were having, those penalties don't do anything but just magnify the problems that you're already having offensively. You're out of rhythm. You're out of sorts. You're trying to play catch up. You're still trying to stay committed to your running game,
Yes.
which I think Shoddy did a good job of doing that. And at the point that CeeDee Lamb went down, and I don't know if you guys felt it, because it was like the momentum was going back and forth.
Yep.
But it was at that moment when CeeDee Lamb went down that it was like, oh,
He ain't
man.
coming in. He ain't coming back in.
Like,
He ain't coming back in. That's what got me. He ain't coming. He's not coming back in. I'm like, okay, he'll be back, but he's not coming back.
I think that was the pin
and
for
then
the balloon.
Ryan Flanoy stepped up,
Big time.
right?
For the most
If
part.
there's any silver lining to this game, that is that.
Right.
Ryan Flanoy is.
And they finally threw a pass at Mingo. He was active, and it went right off his hands.
Yeah.
Don't,
That was like, don't even get me started with this guy, man. We've been trying. Come on, man.
No, I know what y'all want to talk about. Y'all
But-
want to talk about Ferguson.
but-
y'all want to talk
That
about the
too,
game.
man.
You want
Dang, dude, what's going on here? I need my guys, man.
What happened to Ferg?
Golly, man.
What happened to
He's got,
Ferg?
he's got to start realizing he's not a 280-pound tight end trying to drag 3 guys along with him. You caught the pass, go down.
Go down.
Go down.
But everybody needs to take that on that. Well, we saw that a few weeks ago with Javante at the end of a game
Right.
where he was trying to get
And
extra.
also
He's
Travis.
tackled. Just go down. And Pickens.
Ferguson he fumbled again this is another time.
Pickens in this game, it happened to be recovered
Right.
in the end
Turpin
zone.
got that one right.
And whoever recovered it, and it went back to the 2-yard line. But if the Lions recover that, the Lions get that ball. But it was just trying trying to do too much.
In the last 3 games, everybody's doing
And then
too
you
much.
get a
Let's go
hands
down.
to the face when the pass got down to what was inside the 10-yard line.
Yeah, that was.
And it was. He did it.
He wouldn't let go.
But again, they're not good enough not to be kind of close to perfect.
Right.
They got whooped up front. Offensive line got whooped. Defensive line, after the first 2 possessions, made no difference in the game whatsoever. They were.
And I was looking forward to that halftime adjustment.
Well,
And we did not.
well,
we did not.
Well, if you didn't throw an interception on the first play,
Right.
you
you gotta,
deferred.
You have to come back with a running play. You don't start your series off with a passing play.
Well, after that, you're right.
Come on, man. Let's
which
just
one we
keep
talking
running
about?
the ball. I'm
Slant.
talking about
The slant on
the
the
slant.
play.
Man, let's just run the ball. Let's just come on out and run the ball. And if you're going to come out and throw the ball, because everyone's thinking, okay, how aggressive we're going to be. I'm not going to come out with a slant. I'd come out with a slant and go. That's when you go with the sluggo. You
Right.
understand?
Well, that's what Schottenheimer said after the game. I should have gone with a
you
sluggo.
should have gone with the sluggo. He said that?
Yeah.
Man,
He blamed the media for putting out how well they've done on slant plays. He goes,
and-
"Hey,
and-
read all
and
that
jokingly.
stuff."
use
He
that
jokingly
against him.
Yeah.
Use it against him because
was
that's all we
joking.
did.
He was-
Pickens on the slant.
I thought it was pretty
Use
funny.
it against him. I mean, come on. It was out there.
Schottenheimer was joking because he's the one actually who brought it up at the press conference. I mean, that's what they do. And it was the first play of the third quarter,
should've
and
done
Pickens
it.
in the
He
Pickens in the
hadn't.
first half had 2 catches for 15 yards.
He's got to
So-
catch that though. He's got to catch
no
that ball.
doubt.
He's got to get his hands out, and he's got to catch it. He's long, strong enough to catch that.
You got to give the DB credit because for once,
Got his hand in
someone,
there.
well, yeah, because for once he read it and broke on it in anticipation. That's why he couldn't get his hands on it because now the leverage is there and he was able to meet him with the ball. So it's easier said than done, but when the guy makes the move, he made a good move. He made a good play. But he's looking for it. That's why you go sluggo, because he was looking for it. He jumped on it right away.
Yeah.
And then on the other side, Flournoy gets the same thing, the hook and go, and the guy he's still looking at Dak.
Does Dak have enough time to throw the sluggo?
Man,
No,
That's the other part of it.
Yeah.
You might start with a sack.
no, and that's the hindsight part of it because when you look at this game, Detroit came in defensively and they played about as good as I've seen. And I looked through all of their film. Kansas City game. I mean, you talk about pressure on the quarterback. This was the first game where I'm like, damn, I obviously didn't see this defense well enough to understand that they could present that kind of pressure. AQ Muhammad up front, three sacks.
3 sacks.
In this game. And I mean, we had been talking about Nate Thomas, and he struggled, right? He struggled, but he wasn't by himself in that struggle. And there were points in it, and I think they pointed out, it's like Detroit is just bringing more guys than the Cowboys can
sometimes
block.
it was just all 4s. Sometimes it was just 4.
That's it.
And it was still a problem.
Yeah, and that pressure just forced Dak off of his reads and some errant throws. I think this was one of the first games that I've seen all year that I was like, damn, Dak, what was that? You know, because he was dealing with that kind of pressure.
Well, to show you another example of the pressure, not only the sacks, right? 11 quarterback hits, and they got credited with 11 passes defensed. So to me, when you have that many passes being batted, you either don't have time to read it out or you're trying to force things into coverage, right? Because you're sort of desperate. You know, they ended up with I wrote it down. Between third down and fourth down, they had 17 of those in the game, and they only went 8 of 17.
Let me say
And
this.
Detroit, to show you what they were doing when they gained their 400 yards, they only had 8 third down plays. 8. The first and second down, they were killing.
And that's where we've always been good. First and second down. That's where we had made our improvements.
And one of the things they did, and this was smart, and it kind of countered that blitzing early. They started lining Gibbs wide as a receiver, and sometimes it was 3 wide and Gibbs out wide. Well, now somebody's got to be in single coverage.
He was the primary receiver on that as well.
And somebody's got to be in single coverage on him, and you can't run with him, Right.
Yeah, it was DeMarvin
You had two
Overshown
receivers
for a while.
going inside, and then he was coming right behind them.
Right. And so your linebackers, if you're going to blitz, well, then they're throwing right behind you.
Mm-hmm.
And the linebackers didn't have a good game.
I got to say.
But saying
you can
all
talk
that,
about-
you were one possession away
There you
from
go.
tying the
There you
game
go.
up.
And see, these are the kind of games that you think about when you're on the road. It's always going to be ugly. Your quarterback is always going to have issues like that when you're on the road. You still come back, you got 379. I'm sorry. That to me, that's just a football team showing resiliency at that time. Because on the road, it ain't going to be pretty. And here you are, you're still in position to make a play to put you in the ball game.
And here's
to keep
another,
you in the ball.
Here's another one. You graciously were saved of the safety. Now you got a punt from your 2. The guy hits a 62-yard punt, and they let the guy return it 19 yards.
Right.
And they're right back at it again, right? Coverage. Something's got to happen with that special teams.
Well, in that case, you're max protecting to make sure that.
Yeah, I know. Well, you know what they did. They doubled the gunners. Both gunners got doubled, and they were going, okay, we're returning. This is going to be short.
Yeah,
he
they
hit
didn't.
it 62 yards.
Hey, Coach Campbell, that to me that puts his fingerprint on that, the way his special teams was playing. That reminds me of how Coach Campbell coaches.
And they excelled. So,
Well,
yeah.
hey, when you can talk all that,
But you know what?
This is a team that still showed me a lot in this loss until we got down to the end. And when you're when you're in a desperate situation like we are, some things can happen to where you go, that was not supposed to happen. And that call, that pass interference call, that was it.
And-
Otherwise, we're looking at a whole different ballgame.
And you know, if you think about when you dig yourself a hole and you're 3-5-1, and we knew what the next 4 games were, and you're sitting there going, maybe we could win 3 out of 4. Would you take that? And you're going, yeah, sure. But then when you win 3, well, I want the 4th
That's
one
right.
too, right?
Right.
Now 6-6 and
Because
1.
I had it.
Yeah.
It's not a dream. No, I had it. I was there. Right where we were supposed to be.
You know what's interesting about that? I'll tell you when we come back on Mix Shots.
He's
in just a
teasing
moment.
us.
Miller Lite, the legendary light beer. The originator, the inventor. If this beer could talk, it'd tell stories about that one time, that night, that one guy, that one gal. Writing a story 50 years long and 50 million friends wide. Because legendary stories start with a light. Here's to 50 years of Miller Time. Celebrate responsibly. 2025 Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Hey, Cowboy fans, if you're thinking about attending a game this season, visit cowboystravel.com to book your travel package today. Stay at the team hotel, have dinner with a Cowboys legend, and experience the best sports venue in the world, AT&T Stadium. Also, tour the Star, get autographs from your favorite players, and talk X's and O's with me, Mickey Spagnola. The official travel partner of the Dallas Cowboys will take care of all your travel needs. Visit cowboystravel.com to book your package today.
Hey, Cowboy fans. Keith Davis here, former Cowboys safety.
Keith Davis into the end zone.
You know what separates champions from the rest? Making the right move at the right moment. With blockchain.com, that's never been easier. The Cowboys became America's team by striking bold when it mattered most. Now it's your turn. Invest like your icons with blockchain.com. Visit blockchain.com/Cowboys today to get started and learn more. That's blockchain.com/Cowboys.
The National Medal of Honor Museum is now open in Arlington, Texas, just a few blocks from AT&T Stadium. Immersive exhibits and exciting technology allow you to fly a rescue helicopter mission in Vietnam and have conversations with virtual Medal of Honor recipients. Come be inspired by these incredible stories of ordinary Americans who did the extraordinary. Get your tickets at mohmuseum.org.
Back to Mick Shots.
The 2026 NFL Pro Bowl vote is open and the roster is up to you. Now through December 15th, cast your ballot to send your favorite Dallas Cowboys to the Pro Bowl games in San Francisco, Don't wait. Go to probowl.com/vote today.
Do you remember what I teased?
I know you teased.
Something.
We were talking about what's left on the Cowboys' schedule. They got 4 games left.
Right.
Okay. What's interesting is even having lost to the Lions, I'm just talking specifically about the Lions in the wild card race. And not that it matters because there's more teams, obviously, than the Lions ahead of the Cowboys in the wild card race. But even after beating the Cowboys last night, the Cowboys are sitting there at 6-6-1. If the Cowboys win out, they get to 10-6-1. For the Lions to be ahead of the Cowboys in the wild card race, they got to win 3 out of the last 4 games. They got to, because of the Cowboys tie, the Lions have to get to 11 wins, and they're sitting there at 8-5 right now. They still got to win 3 out of 4 just to finish ahead of the Cowboys if the Cowboys win out, which is what everybody in this room is hoping for.
Yeah, that
makes Mick shots more interesting.
Or is required of them.
That's right.
If they want to get in the playoffs.
Yeah, and how big is the Eagles-Chargers game on Monday night now?
All of the games are big now.
But you think about it from this perspective.
Big now.
But from this perspective, if the Eagles lose to the Chargers on Monday night, if the Cowboys win out, Eagles split their last 4 games, Cowboys win the division.
Because they still got to play Buffalo. And then Washington twice. And who knows what that team's going to show.
But if the Eagles beat the Chargers, then the Eagles all they got to do is win 1 more game.
And that's why this game is so disappointing, because you knew that you were going to start getting into all those scenarios, and it's going to get even more murky in the next couple of weeks. You're going to have so much ink in that pad right there from talking about how the Cowboys can qualify. I particularly wanted to ask about Savon Revel and really just try and figure out from a confidence standpoint with him. And Mick, you were there in the stadium just to see the different. Is it his confidence? Is it him not being fully ready, or just saying that he's 90% right now as a player?
Now,
let me piggyback off of that. Because it's a great question, and I did tape the Brian Schottenheimer show right before doing this, and one thing that he said about the defense, which was obvious, but he did say it, he felt like we were too soft on defense. We played them too soft, and that I think probably factors into the answer on the rookie Savon Revel.
So then,
and absence of pressure. Think about the one he got beat. Was it Williams all the way across the field?
That was Bell.
That was Bell.
Oh, that was Bell. There was another one, Revel.
Yeah, they had a couple of them. That was the game plan.
All day to throw the ball.
That was the game plan. Yeah.
All day to throw the ball.
The guy,
it's like
Tesla.
3 or 4 times.
And he sort of reminded you that against these really good receivers, he is a rookie. And he's playing his 4th NFL game. And I told somebody, I said, "What did you expect Everson Walls out there as a rookie getting 11 interceptions?" And they go, "Well," and I said, "Well, he doesn't have Too Tall Jones out there."
That's right.
But and I was joking.
But what you have is, I don't like the technique of opening up your hips and allowing them to go across the field. I'd rather you give them the sideline, because if you go across the field, I mean, it's what we saw with Billy Waddy way back in 1980. That's why Tom Landry came up with the flex and putting us inside shoulder, because you don't want to give him the entire field across. You just don't want to give them that. They can keep on running. That could be a touchdown, just like it was back in 1980 against the Rams. That's why you have to play inside leverage on crossing routes. Who's over there? No one.
You got no safety to help.
No one's there, so I don't understand the technique itself. We did this a lot last year. Just open it up and letting the guys go across the middle. What makes them think there's help there? Those kind of things, in crucial situations. Now, the offense may have made them, make those type of adjustments, predictable adjustments for that. But when you know that you have the entire field across from you and no help inside, as a defender, you should always leverage yourself better.
Got no arguments with you there.
That's crazy.
Well,
it did
but
3 times.
Okay, but Everson, you being should be in the Hall of Fame cornerback that you are, as far as Revel and him coming off the injury, being a rookie, how should we feel about where Revel is right now?
We can feel good about where he is right now, but you don't want this to be a pattern. You don't want this to be, okay, this guy continuously does this. Now you're looking at kind of how Kate Carson started off last year. Nobody had any confidence in him because he kept messing up the same way every time. So they're going to pick on you, but you got to do what we did Thurman Steves. Eventually. Did
they pick on the undrafted rookie out of Grambling?
They sure did. Mm-hmm. That worked for about 8 games. Mm-hmm. And then after that, now you get more picks, fewer big plays. You're gonna get beat, but you got to get yours. You got to get yours. You can't continue to just sit back there and say, oh, there's nothing I can do. I wasn't supposed to be getting picks. That's why Charlie Watts called me a Martian. Because I'm like, you know what, forget this technique, because the technique was the weakness of the defense. I'm not going with that. Let me just work on my one-on-one skills every once in a while, to where you just break the mold. Okay, let's not just open it up for them to the outside. I can read that route. Let me jump that. Then, of course, they're going to counter and say, okay, you're going to jump that, then we're going to take it to the house. So you get those kind of things to where you have to play, it's cat and mouse. It's cat and mouse with the offense.
And that's where the adjustments come in. And that's what I'm saying for a guy like Savon Revel, and you recognize golf is going after him right now. And I think Mickey talked about it earlier about pressure and what pressure does for your secondary. Well, if you're not getting there some kind of way, you're going to have to generate it. And if you're not generating enough pressure, then the coverage on the back end is going to have to change. And that's where you're talking about those free releases. Yes. And there were a couple. It wasn't just him, though. And I'm not. I want to just pinpoint and say it's him.
No, it was not.
Reddy Stewart.
Hey, even Deron Bland. Bland had his moments where you're like, what? Wait a minute. What is that? And look, Jameson Williams and Amon-Ra St. Brown, who miraculously recovered, healed himself.
It was back on the field.
I mean, somebody's healing hands was on his ankle. But I'm telling you, those guys, and even though he was playing, possession receptions, things like that, our secondary just truly never had an answer for them. And the speed component that they brought to the table. We talk about Jahmyr Gibbs, Jameson Williams, number one.
All of them had yak.
Oh, man.
All of them had yak. And so you can get beat on the play, but you have to be in position to make the play. And we weren't even in position to stop the yak. They kept on going.
You've been talking about that all year, the lack of tackling or just the execution when it comes down to it. And that's a want-to thing. You got to get where he catches. It doesn't mean that he can gain another 20 yards.
Just
get him down right there.
But he was 10 yards open.
And there's the problem.
That's the problem.
Well,
that's the problem.
How about this? Goff threw 34 passes. They had 1 pass defensed. 1. So they're not close in coverage. These guys were open, just open.
Yeah.
So they had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 guys average double-digit average per catch. 5.
Yeah. That came from the yak.
Yeah, they were running, and they got speed, and I understand that. Okay, so now you got to score with them, and they were scoring with them. They just couldn't stop them. Bottom line, 44 points that tied the season high, right? They gave up 44 to Denver.
Yeah.
After
that didn't turn out well either.
No, that sure did it? Because they didn't even score to make that a game. And this is after you gave up, 16, 21, 28. So I think when I did my deal, I said, seems like old times.
But, guys, this is the kind of game you expect on the road.
Yeah.
It's another desperate.
Well, I had 35-31.
Yeah, you saw our scores, yeah. So we knew it was going to be tough. And once again, you can't depend on referees or anybody else to help you.
And you can't turn the ball over 3 times.
And you can't shoot yourself in the foot, exactly.
When they only had – did they have 1 turnover? Does the block field goal count as a turnover?
No.
Probably not. It's not a takeaway, right?
No.
But it was good.
Early off, I thought we had golf. You know, he wasn't in his bag. He wasn't, completing those long throws. And it felt like the defense, although offensively we didn't get a lot of things going, it felt like the defense was still – you never felt like the game was away from you. Even at halftime, it was 20-9.
That's right.
You're like, look, there's still
feeling good.
Still feeling good. And even when the way that we opened up the game with the interception and then giving up those 7 points, I just felt like, look, if we can just stop shooting ourselves in the foot. And like you said, you can't rely on the referees to save you. All you can do is save yourself. And we never got to that point. And I'm telling you, as much as I've glowed about Quentin Williams, as much as I've glowed about Osa Digizua in that job, I got to give credit to the Lions and their offensive line that was shorthanded. Bill, you talked about the injuries that they had. The game plan was simple. I'm going to run it on you. And that 35-yard long run from David Montgomery just was like the exclamation point to their running game, because it was like, look, and credit Dan and credit Dan Campbell for not getting in his own way. They didn't go for it on fourth downs. They didn't use trick.
They
didn't go for it.
They didn't.
Well, no, they didn't.
There was like at least two times where you
thought he was, right?
It was 4th and 5 a couple of times.
And he didn't. He settled for the field goal.
He sure did.
Down on the goal line. And he got out of his own way. And this is one of those games where I anticipate he was going to make that mistake and give the ball back to us and maybe surrender the momentum that he had built up. He never did that.
And we still had a big chance. I mean, legitimate chance. I don't mean like, 3 scores. We can go 3 scores in 10 minutes. No, we all we need to do was keep pace, and we were doing that. I wasn't worried.
They were holding them at bay until it was 3rd and 5 at the 10. Yeah. And they got the sack. Mm-hmm. That was almost the safety.
Yeah.
And then they got the punt, great punt, but they didn't cover it. And then they scored. They came down and scored and took a 10-3 lead. And now you were chasing the lead the entire game.
But we were doing that just fine.
Yeah,
we were doing
they were
it just
chasing.
fine. We were catching. We were catching.
You're not winning very many games when they don't get to 4th down but twice in a game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They had 2 punts and no 4th down plays. I mean, no 4th down, going for it on 4th down. So they only got to 4th down twice in the game.
On that 4th and goal, I believe it was, and he kicked the field goal. I'm like, man, somebody need to make sure that's Dan Campbell over there, because that ain't him. That's not his MO. He does not do that. But something you alluded to earlier, Mickey, was the kickoffs. And I don't know what has to change in that, whether you use your starters or whatever you got to do. But you can be the steel curtain on the 2000 Baltimore Ravens, and you're getting the ball at midfield. Man, you're going to have to put in a special defensive performance to stop a team if you just
because all you need 10, 15 yards, and you're at least in field goal range, right? I got a solution to it. Put the damn ball in the end zone and let them have it at the 35.
Wow.
At that point that you're already giving up half of the field, and that's the only thing you should do.
Instead of giving it up at the 50 or 40 or whatever it was, it's just awful.
And let me clarify, they only got to 4th down twice when they weren't in field goal range.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So, but half the field's field goal range anymore.
Whatever.
Whatever. You only, even for Detroit, you just get past midfield and you're in field goal.
But Bill, if you watch the Detroit Lions football enough, you recognize that in those situations they don't settle for field goals. Campbell's gonna go for it. Mm-hmm. So him not doing that last night, I really kudos to him, man. He changed his spots last night.
You break it all down, and the difference in the game are the 2 turnovers. The fumble by Ferguson and the interception to start the 3rd quarter gave them the football, which they were able to convert, and otherwise.
And the bogus PI call.
Yeah.
The bogus PI call. I'm not letting that go.
But you're still down a score.
I almost wore my white hat to this.
Man.
Yeah. But you still had to get a stop after that.
I understand that. But damn, you still got to do. I have to score here. I have to score a touchdown here. They were going to score a touchdown there. They needed a touchdown there.
And the face mask penalty. The face mask penalty on George Pickens.
Yeah, he wouldn't let go.
Yeah, I mean, but that's how many times do you see that in the course of a football game where that's not called?
Biggest play in the game might have been the hands to the face on Ferguson. That was a 50-yard penalty. It literally was a 50-yard penalty.
Yeah.
49 yards.
Yep.
Because you had the pass interference down on the goal line, and instead it was offsetting penalties.
Big play.
Offsetting.
Big play, too.
Upsetting.
That's what I thought was going to happen on the bogus call, because I saw 2 flags in the field. I guess they both saw the same thing. I don't know.
That literally won't show up any box score, but that was a 50-yard penalty.
Yeah.
All right. I wonder how we did on our picks to click when we come back here on Mick Shots.
Who cares?
Miller Lite, the legendary light beer. The originator, the inventor. If this beer could talk, it'd tell stories about that one time, that night, that one guy, that one gal. Writing a story 50 years long and 50 million friends wide. Because legendary stories start with a light. Here's to 50 years of Miller Time. Celebrate responsibly. 2025 Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Hey, Cowboy fans. Keith Davis here, former Cowboys safety.
Keith Davis into the end zone.
You know what separates champions from the rest? Making the right move at the right moment. With blockchain.com, that's never been easier. The Cowboys became America's team by striking bold when it mattered most. Now it's your turn. Invest like your icons with blockchain.com. Visit blockchain.com/Cowboys today to get started and learn more. That's blockchain.com/Cowboys.
Star Sports Tours is the only official fan travel partner of the Dallas Cowboys, offering exclusive game weekend travel packages with pre-game sideline access and photo ops with current players, cheerleaders, and Cowboy legends. You want to stay at a team hotel, attend the best tailgate party in Texas, tour the Star, and talk X's and O's with me, Everson Walls? With Star Sports Tours, you can. Visit cowboystravel.com to book your travel package today.
The National Medal of Honor Museum is now open in Arlington, Texas, just a few blocks from AT&T Stadium. Immersive exhibits and exciting technology allow you to fly a rescue helicopter mission in Vietnam and have conversations with virtual Medal of Honor recipients. Come be inspired by these incredible stories of ordinary Americans who did the extraordinary. Get your tickets at mohmuseum.org.
Back to Mick Shots.
Cowboys Nation, Tom Gibson has been named your 2025 Dallas Cowboys Fan of the Year, presented by Captain Morgan for his dedication to the team and spicing up the game. Vote for Tom to be named the ultimate NFL Fan of the Year at NFL.com/Fan of the Year.
Okay, I'm going to be at AT&T Stadium tomorrow morning at 11 a.m.
Tailgating?
I'm going to get there early. I don't know. We'll be tailgating, I guess. I will try to beat the traffic. Going as a fan with my wife, a Texas Tech grad, and another couple. We're going to go watch the Red Raiders and BYU in the Big 12 championship game.
Oh.
I bet he has sweet tickets, don't you?
He does.
My brother-in-law has sweet tickets, but he did not invite his sister or brother-in-law to join him in that suite, apparently.
Put him on blast right now.
Right around Christmas time, too, huh? Wow.
And he just stayed at our house last week, and I extended what is normally a 48-hour rule that I impose on him whenever they visit. I graciously extended it to 72 hours.
Oh,
and
right.
still didn't give me a...
But they didn't invite you to the suite.
And still not invited to this.
Next time, it's going to be 7 hours. You're out, bro.
Right.
I don't care how long you drove.
Yeah.
Hey, don't
Coming from Lubbock.
Don't you let Chris talk about not inviting somebody to a suite. He's the king of not inviting.
What? Is he really?
That is
yes.
not
A lot of
true.
people in this building won't invite you to this
Bro.
suite, by the way.
Bro.
Just saying. Just saying.
The Harrisons have been to a Beam suite before.
Yes, we have.
I just like a parking pass in myself.
That's it, right? Can I get a closer parking pass?
A parking pass in general, I would.
Period.
Yeah. Okay. My pick to click was DeMarvion Overshown.
That didn't work.
Yeah, why are you even going over this? I should get it if anybody's going to get it.
What? Because
I
you
got
got
Aubrey.
every
I got
week.
Aubrey.
You got Aubrey.
I got Aubrey.
Okay, yeah.
All right, Aubrey's off the
63
board
yarder.
from now
All
on.
right,
You
well,
cannot
Aubrey's
pick
off the
Aubrey
board.
from now.
I know Heck is not going with
And
Ferguson.
Dak's got to be off the board
tied
too.
for the
Dak
lead
and-
with 7 tackles.
In fact, Schottenheimer said,
Mickey,
Who'd he tie with? It's probably a safety or corner.
Bland.
Bland. Bland.
Okay.
how many Rebel
And
had?
next was Revel.
Rebel. Oh, God. Oh, Lord.
It's a trend now.
Don't ask for another one, please.
And you can't go with Ferguson at all. You
Listen,
can't go with
here's the
Ferguson.
deal.
No,
Here's
you
the
can't
deal.
Go with Ferg, bro.
Listen,
You cannot
Everson,
go with Ferg.
I am going. Look, I have rode the Ferg Kittle Kelsey train.
Not this time.
Man, I'm running out of
Oh,
coal.
that was hard.
I'm running out of coal on this
I
train,
had
man.
Williams. I thought
You
could
had
run
Williams.
the ball.
Yeah. And you know, he did okay. You did okay.
He's got 1,000 yards.
There you go.
When you fall
say.
behind by 18
Yeah,
points,
it takes him out of the game. Mm-hmm. That was kind of funny. He scored on a 1-yard touchdown, and that was the 1,000th yard.
Yeah, that's right.
He was at 999 or 990.
They said that last night.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Who'd you have, Bill? Who'd you say?
Overshown.
Oh, you had
Overshown.
Overshown.
yeah.
Oh, all right.
Didn't have
We're
his
going to
best
start
game.
taking a whole bunch of people off the
An
table.
OU guy picked a Texas guy. That's crazy.
And that's why we lost.
Well, because he can't keep picking Kenneth Murray. Don't, Chris. Kenneth Murray.
He's going the wrong way.
Kenneth Murray didn't have his best game either. Oh,
Yeah, I win. I win.
You got the snap counts on the linebackers?
I didn't print it out. No.
well,
I've got them somewhere, but
man, it was rough, man. That one move, Kenneth Murray almost came out his socks. It was talking about
On the field?
Oh my God!
So-
He got
Did a
Jimmy Gibbs.
pirouette. You did a pirouette.
He had 120 yards total offense and 3 touchdowns. It's pretty good.
Not bad.
And
I'm
before-
sorry. I'm proud of my Cowboys.
And
we did
before-
a damn good job.
Before the game, in their notes, they pointed out that both Williams and Gibbs over these 3 seasons, 23, 24, 25, all had more than 30 rushing touchdowns. Think about that.
That's a lot.
I'd rather.
You're talking Montgomery and Gibbs.
Montgomery and
yeah. Them together, man. That long run from Montgomery. I was like, we can't give up a long run to that guy.
I'm still not scared of these guys. I'm sorry.
No.
Cowboys can play these guys.
What?
Man,
I was impressed with their
I go back to
linebackers, man.
Detroit. I go back to Detroit. I'm sorry.
That ticked you off a little bit. I can tell that ticked you off a little bit.
They
But
did, man. These guys, we're better than that.
hey, they scored 40
better
points
than
on us
that. And
again. What was the last game we lost? 40.
We messed ourselves up. We shot ourselves
Denver?
in the foot. Still had
No. I'm talking about last year when we played them.
47.
47. So I mean, it's a 40 burger.
I throw out last year's game. Dak,
Can't throw it out,
no,
Bill.
when Dak doesn't play, I don't care. If Dak doesn't play,
I get it. I get it.
You know, the guy that really kind of ruined things for him was that Campbell guy. He's a
the coach.
Dan Campbell.
The linebacker.
linebacker. Is he the linebacker?
Yeah, the linebacker. He played his butt off, man.
Jack Campbell?
Jack Campbell,
Yeah.
backer, first-round draft pick out of
Oh, that's the one that
Remember,
that punched the ball out. That's the one that punched the ball out.
The Lions go against what is draft protocol. Oh, he took a running back in the first round. Oh, they took a middle linebacker in the first round. You can't do that. And there you happen to be two of their
It's a
best
bad
players.
man.
So he had 12 tackles, 1 sack, 1 tackle for loss, 1 quarterback hit, 1 forced fumble.
And that was the Ferguson fumble.
Yeah,
You think he's going to be the NFC Player of the Week?
that sure
He is right now.
he is now.
right now, after one game.
He's at the top of the list.
The only game being
Oh
played.
my God! I thought we were done with that trend. That's the trend I thought we had broken.
And Anzalone had 3 passes broken up.
Yeah, the guy with the locks. Man, he
Okay.
was everywhere.
And I didn't even know, and I guess I'm guilty of not studying, but Muhammad led him with 3 sacks.
Yeah.
Former Cowboy.
Yeah.
What?
Quadden Muhammad was with the Cowboys in training camp last year.
As like a late pickup, or
He was in the middle of camp. They picked him up, and then they cut him, whatever. And everybody else.
You're supposed to go, oh, that Muhammad. That's how you do it. That's how
I'm not
you
gonna fit.
Still blank.
I had no idea.
He was here.
Play it off, Mick. Damn.
He was here.
Blinking his eyes.
Yes, he was. And Mickey, as we close this out,
Don't do him like that, man.
we go back in the Wayback Machine. Do you remember Cloyce Box?
No.
Detroit Lion Cloyce Box Well, Jahmyr Gibbs in last night's game became the second player in Lions history to produce 3 games in a single season with 3 or more touchdowns. He joined Cloyce Box in 1952. Now, why am I bringing this up? The great Cloyce Box, who owned the Cloyce Box Ranch at the corner of Preston Road and Main Street right here in Frisco, Texas, the site of the original South Fork Ranch location where the first 5 episodes of Dallas were filmed in 1978.
Bill, how'd you come to that?
The rest of the story.
How'd you do that? How did that happen? How did you do that?
I recognized the name Cloyce Box.
Yeah.
And then
Did he play for the Cowboys?
I don't believe so.
Oh, okay.
I don't believe so.
I figured that was going to be the next shoe to do.
No, but
I
how
thought
about
it
that?
was high school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What high school he played at?
He went to Waco High School.
He said, man, stop, man.
What I tell you.
He's from Jonesboro, Texas.
Yeah,
Okay.
right.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to tell me Joe Don Looney.
Well, he was actually later than Cloyce Box.
Okay.
But anyway, Cloyce Box is a famous name, and in fact, he is a big reason why Frisco, Texas, has become what Frisco, Texas is. He was Citizen of the Year in Frisco, Texas, in 1986, and now you know.
How do you become
the rest?
of the year?
I don't even know. I'm just trying to figure out how you know that.
All right.
There was one thing to be thankful for last night. It was an indoor game.
Yeah.
Ooh.
When we were getting
I heard.
It was 8 degrees.
8 degrees.
Yeah.
Yes.
Game
And there
started
was snow flurries on
when we landed.
Wednesday, right?
Couldn't see the ground. There was a minute to go, and I'm going, how's he seeing? I hope that thing works up there, right? And then we're getting ready to land, and all of a sudden I hear him gun it. And it was 1 minute to land. Now it's 3. Now it's 5.
We had to
He
go back
aborted
up.
the landing
Yeah.
because the runway was busy.
Yeah.
Well, I was about to land this show, and then Mickey just aborted the landing with that. And so now we're going
I
to
just
land
thought it was
again.
real indicative of how the 2 days went.
All right, here we are. We're landing.
We're
the show.
landing.
Here we go, and go Red Raiders tomorrow at AT&T Stadium, and have a great mini bye weekend, everybody.
Go Cowboys.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about this, Cowboys? Yeah!